What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Who Can Relate. Today's episode, I'm bringing back a crowd favorite in Mr. Rome Green Jr. The last time I had him on, we talked about dating with intentions, and Rome blessed the podcast with so many gems and tools. Just overall really gave such a different, beautiful, unique perspective from the male perspective, but also when it comes to dating and just, becoming the best version of ourselves. So today we're going to be talking about the book, The Way of the Superior Man. This book has had a huge impact on him and also myself. And we just thought it was the perfect kind of topic to bring him back and also to just really embrace a major find that we have had as a man in our life. And I think this will help. I know this will help out a lot of men, but I don't want women to be discouraged or deterred from this episode. We're still under the impression that this book might actually have been made for women. And I've talked to a couple women who've actually read this book, and you'll hear their voice notes in the episode where they love it and they give their perspective and their takeaway on it. And it's not some misogynistic, heteronormativity, macho man, egotistical, male writing this book, this male author. It's a beautifully written book about the masculine and feminine energy and how the masculine needs to embrace the feminine more and how the feminine could embrace the masculine more. And here's the balance. So there's going to probably be 2 or 3 episodes to follow when the time permits with this book. We couldn't get through it all in one take. So sit back, relax, enjoy the episode. We're going to go over part 1 and part 2 of the book, and we're going to dive into some really, really, really good conversation. And again, Rome bless the show, and I really think you all will enjoy this. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. Mr. Rome Green Jr.
What's up, man?
Welcome back to the show, brother.
Hey, man. Glad to be back, man. I'm excited.
You have definitely built a fan base on Who Can Relate, as you should.
I just want to say thank you to my mom, my dad, JD. Most importantly, enjoy the podcast for starting my journey. So we here.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man.
Yeah. So today we wanted to talk about a book that has had a huge impact on us for many ways, for many reasons. And the book is The Way of the Superior Man. Is it David Dita?
I believe it's David Dita.
Dita? Okay.
Because Data. David Data?
Data?
All right,
shit,
maybe
okay.
it's Data.
Data.
Right. Well,
David Data.
I'm going to just call him Didi. I'm going to call him Didi for short.
So this book, it's funny because when I met you, you were touching on it briefly. And then, so you were the second person to bring this book up to me. And I was like, okay, it must be time to grab it. It must be time to sit down with it and just really consume whatever the messages are. But furthermore, I don't want, especially women, to think this book is just all about men, right? Obviously, The Way of the Superior Man is it's got a masculine title to it. But the subtitle is A Spiritual Guide to Mastering the Challenges of Women, Work, and Sexual Desire.
Yeah, and I think you can actually break it down even further. It says the way of the superior man, but human. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's because it's for both. Like, ladies, right now, if you listen to this book is definitely for you.
It may be more so for women.
It might be like when you get into the details and the nuances in the book. Yeah, I believe that it's definitely got some just some good key solid points for women to understand men. A little more, and for men to for sure understand women. Way more. Than whatever we've been conditioned to. And I think one thing about this book is it breaks down basically the masculine and feminine traits. But I think the first thing you got to understand is that masculine and feminine isn't a gender.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's an energy. It's a movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So this book is for women who are masculine.
Yep.
And men who are feminine, or men who are masculine, and women who are feminine, or the gay man who's more masculine, or you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Like, it's just across the board. You know what I'm saying?
And finding that balance.
Yeah.
So before we get into one more piece of context, where, if you can remember, Rome, where were you? And by the way, we're gonna have matter of fact, I'll play it right now.
Yeah.
2 women that are friends of ours that are talking about their take on the way of the superior man and what it means to them.
Reading The Way of the Superior Man from a woman's point of view made me better understand the polarity between a man and a woman, and learn how to embrace one another's masculine and feminine energy to better grow together. I believe this book will bring great value to the modern woman too.
So when I first found The Way of the Superior Man, it was actually given to me by my little brother, which is the best part. And I was in the middle of, complaining or sharing a story with someone I was dating and how horrible it was. And not horrible, but just the situation and the ways that he wasn't showing up as a man and what I needed him to be and what I wanted him to be. And he was like, shh, take this book. Call me after you read it, And for the first time in my life, I felt understood, which is so odd because it's a book written for men by a man. But the detail that it goes into about how a woman needs to be seen, treated, held, accepted, the waves of her, the cycles of her ways of being that don't usually make sense to most men. And they end up reacting in a way that doesn't help anyone in the situation. So the details in this book, every chapter, I was like on the floor just reading it like a little kid face in the book. It was mind-blowing to be so understood by a man. You would think this book was written by a woman, honestly. But the way that this author taps into the masculine and the feminine so intensely, so on point, is almost like it was a game changer. And on top of when he just handed me the book, my brother, he said, this book will help you see who you want to be with, because I don't think you even really know what you're looking for. This book did that for me, and it showed me exactly who I'm looking for and who I want to step more into as a woman as well. It was really powerful. It was a complete game changer for me.
Without further ado, people are like, shut up, just start talking about the book.
Start talking about the book.
What we're going to do is, this will probably be like a 2-3 part mini series.
Definitely,
it's so much in here.
It's gems on gems in here.
And we got our bourbon. By the way, cheers, dog.
Oh yeah, hey, shout out to JD makes a solid old fashioned.
Oh, come appreciate you.
He's a solid guy.
So we're gonna get into part 1, which again, ladies, bear with us. The title is A Man's Way, but
yeah.
We're also gonna do part 2 today, which is dealing with women.
Yeah, maybe we can just give them like the parts that it kind of. We can just name the parts. So
let's get it.
Part 1 is A Man's Way. Part 2 is dealing with women. Part 3 is working with polarity and energy. That's the section I really like as well.
Yeah.
Part 4 is what women really want. Oh, that's when it gets a little. That's another video. That's when it gets wild. Part 5 is your dark side. Part 6 is feminine attractiveness. Part 7 is body practices, which is a really interesting one as well. And then part 8 is men's and women's yoga of intimacy, which is very beautiful as well.
And by the way, that part 7 of body practices is heavily predicated on ejaculation.
Yeah.
Which is not what
you think.
What you think.
Yeah. No, it's a whole meditative, spiritual. It's good. So let's get into it.
So A Man's Way, we're gonna get into maybe 5 or so different chapters. So the first one is, which is actually chapter 1.
Yep.
Stop hoping for a completion of anything in life.
I loved it when I read that.
You know what I'm saying?
I loved it.
It made sense to me.
Yeah.
I think it was a reminder for sure, but just more along the lines of, because I fell into that, right? I fell into, if I can just do this, everything will be complete. Then I can move on. I can do this. But more importantly, as it says here, the masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't. It never ends. We sit here and think one day my woman will understand something and then she'll stop complaining. No. That's what we're not going to do.
Yeah, no,
that's not the recipe.
No, that's not going to happen. and I think the reason why I like this chapter so much too, because it opens up the book with such a powerful statement. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and it makes you think. Basically, women's energy it's positive up here, negative down here.
Interesting.
Meaning positive
in the book?
in the heart. Not in no.
Okay.
Positive in the heart, negative down below. Men were positive down here, negative up here. Okay. And so it's a revolving door of energy. And so I look at this chapter like that. Like, stop hoping for a complete that energy keeps going. Flowing. It keeps flowing. Like you can't think one day it's just gonna stop. It's just gonna or just like the world. We look at the world. We're moving right now. We're still, but the world is still moving. So that's why I think it was just a great way to open the book.
Yeah. So what other takeaway do you have from this chapter? Because I mean, if you guys can see, I got a ton of highlights.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. I think right here when it says men who have lived significant lives are men who never waited. Yep. Not for money, security, ease, or women. Feel what you want to give most as a gift to your woman and the world, and do what you can to give it today. And I think that goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And the only sentence you left out, which is another one I highlighted, which is every moment waited is a moment wasted. And each wasted moment degrades your clarity of purpose.
And that's how we open in the book. That's how we open in the book, and I think because I think we get into this rhythm of, all right, this season I'm done with this, or this is completed, or this is completed. You can look at many artists who back in the day, take it back to the Renaissance era, a lot of the artists they didn't even complete their work. So it would keep them always on their toes, like I need to finish that. I need to keep going.
Right. Something to look forward to.
Yep. So let's say I complete all the tasks. Oh wait, nah, I got another one. But I think that's just a man's.
Well, it is,
it's a masculine.
It's a masculine energy, and that's what he talks about. In terms of we just think if we can just complete this, everything else will be okay. Yeah. But even if it were that, which it's not going to be, but just hypothetically speaking, if it were to be that, what has happened to me in the past is. It's like a video game analogy. Not to say women are video games. Yeah. But I'm just going to roll with this for a second, so follow me. When you have a new video game, you're hyped. You're like, I can't wait to beat it. I got 10 levels to get through. I might pull an all-nighter. Yeah. And once you complete the game, you beat all the levels, game over on your screen, right? Where's the next game? Where's game number 2? Yeah. And that's how I used to be with women. Once I would get to the point where I figured it out enough, I figured them out enough, I was like, okay, where's the next one? But I'm like, hold on, I'm replacing women like I'm replacing this video game, which is the most unhealthy thing and talk about bad patterns. But that's just back to the masculine energy where it's like we just are obsessed with completing a task or completing a mission. Yeah. We love the challenge of it, but at the end of the day, we have to find a balance and to continue that challenge throughout the same thing. Yeah. Right. Without so much necessarily completion, just enjoying the present and trying to get better and trying to grow from it.
It's like I would put it like this too. When dealing with women, I had to realize like I have to look at it like you said, not like a video game, but more so if this woman is going to be my home, my comfort, my peace, treat it like a home. Sometimes you have to do some upholstering. Right. You're not switching houses. You're just changing the interior a little bit. You're figuring out more. You know what I'm saying? You're figuring out okay, cool. I like this chair over here. Yeah, yeah. All right, now next year, let's move that chair. Let's put a painting up here, right? Yes. And if you look at it like that, then you won't be expecting a completion. It'll just always be another project for you to, to carry on with. So I think that's the way I had to kind of start looking at it too.
I love that. Yeah. So in this chapter, and then we can move on to the next one.
Sure.
An important part is the next time you notice yourself trying to fix your woman so that she no longer fill in the blank. Yep. Relax and give her love by touching her and telling her that you love her when she's this way. Yeah. So whatever you fill in the blank with, that's on you. But embrace her, wrestle with her, scream and yell at her if you need to, but make no effort to bring to an end to what pisses you off. Practice love instead and try to bring the end to the quality that bothers you.
Yeah.
Because you can't escape the tussle with the feminine.
Yep.
The love that you magnify may realign her behavior, but your effort to fix her and your frustration never will.
Yeah, and I've learned that the hard way.
If she could only just...
Yeah.
How many times you... Bro.
Why she keep...
Come on. It could be so simple. If you
can
only just...
Man, she don't never...
Yeah, she tripping, bro. Yeah, she is. You right.
Yeah.
You know?
Then you be like, oh, okay. This is just a part of the feminine nature.
Yeah.
When you understand it's a part of an energy, then you can expect it to happen here and there. You can expect for it to come up, and now you know how to, now you know how to deal with it.
So let's move on. So chapter 5 was something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get to it. But the title is Always Hold to Your Deepest Realization.
And
what'd that do for you?
For me,
bro, we highlighted the same sentence. You see that?
Come on, man.
We literally highlighted the same sentence.
We aligned.
What you got?
Well, before I even got into it, I was like, all right, always hold to your deepest realization. And I came to the terms with this maybe a year or so ago. And even when I opened this back up, I'm like, oh man. And for me, it was more so I had to realize that a lot of my things weren't rooted in realization. They were rooted in idealistic things.
Right.
Ideally, this is how I want you to act. Ideally, this is how society has said. Ideally, it's supposed to be like this.
Yep.
But the deepest realization is like, it's kind of not that. It's not. I'm up, but you know what I'm saying, or whatever that is, and I'm like, okay, all right. But the sentence that we highlighted is,
go ahead.
Make your life an ongoing process of being who you are at your deepest, most easeful levels of being. Everything other than this process is secondary. And I think that whole sentence sums up this whole chapter.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, it's about just being who you. No matter how much you love the person, you don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right.
Feelings are fleeting; they come and go. That's one thing I've learned. They're up and down, and especially with the feminine energy, the emotions.
All over the place.
We think. Men, we think black, white. They think black, white, up, down, blue, red, future, purple.
They gotta get the whole color wheel.
Everything. You're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So, being who you are is just understanding that when you're living in your truth, you're going to get the truth out of somebody else. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you living in your truth, they have no choice because they feel it. You feel when somebody's living in the truth. You're like. Oh, that's they're being their most genuine self. They're being, and it's vulnerability. I mean,
it's vulnerability, but it's a level of respect that you give that person. Yeah, that is probably the only way you can really truly do that. When you see someone totally aligned, knowing their worth, their value system, their deal breakers, their hard lines, it's not even like a thing to even attempt to take that away from them or to shift them from that to down to the core. So it's a beauty, and it's sexy. It's so sexy. When you see someone like that, you're like, okay, and I think I want some of that.
And it's more so because somebody might be asking, well, somebody who doesn't know how to be their truest self, like being who they are. I think when if you're a masculine energy and you meet that right feminine energy. I think it's like a magnet. It pulls it out of you. You'll be like, why am I telling her that?
Right. I'm over here pillow talking. What the hell? What you put in my drink?
What I'm telling her that for? But it's like, oh, I'm relaxed.
Right.
That's what this chapter is really about. It's about being at peace with who you are. Yeah. So the other person can feel at peace too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there's a chapter in here, chapter number 7. that
lucky number 7.
We're just gonna tease for everyone listening or watching.
Yeah.
Highly encourage you guys to make sure you consume this one. We're just gonna touch on it a little bit. The title is Your Purpose Must Come Before Your Relationship. Every man knows that his highest purpose in life cannot be reduced to any particular relationship. If a man prioritizes his relationship over his highest purpose, he weakens himself, deserves the universe, and cheats his woman of an authentic man who can offer her full, undivided presence. So, That's tough though.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But I fully agree.
But dog, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you fully agree because you're single?
No.
Because for me, married.
Yeah.
So here's the interesting predicament that I'm in.
Okay.
I found my purpose while being married.
Yeah.
And if I'm being totally honest, I have a hard time balancing out the time and energy I put into my purpose and the time and energy I put into my marriage.
For sure.
Because I really try to be 100% in both, but you can't.
Yeah, I mean,
Consistently, you can't. You can't multitask that.
It's a balance, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. But if I'm being honest as well, I know that if I can truly live in my purpose, again, back to everyone around me will benefit, especially Shay, especially my wife. So luckily I have the right woman to understand that, okay, he's on a mission. Literally, there's just that he is on a mission. I'm here to support. I'm here to uplift. Like I would do the same for her.
The reason why I fully agree with it, because when I found my purpose, when I told the story on your podcast, my purpose, I seen it was a serving purpose.
Right.
So without that, then maybe it won't help. I won't be able to find that because I think through my purpose is where I find the alignment. And I think that's the case. So your purpose, you're out here, you're helping people. And since you're married, it kind of that's your true. Like sometimes we think our purpose is like build a podcast, but that's not the real. So that's why I believe. That's why I believe when you find your purpose. It's great because I truly believe that if a man doesn't have his purpose, whether he's married, whether he's successful, whatever it is, I mean, you see it all the time. Successful people, they be unhappy or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Or it's kind of built into the fabric of what we're doing, because even in Hollywood, the hero's journey is always about the person finding their purpose. Yeah. And then through their purpose, they find the love. Right. They find everything. It trickles down. I think it doesn't go this way. I think it goes this way. It's purpose and then kind of topples down. Yeah. But like we said, that's a loaded chapter. Oh yeah, so it's a whole bunch. I'm gonna grab a couple more highlights in here. Yep. Okay. Your mission is your priority. Unless you know your mission and have aligned it with your life, your core will feel empty. So I highlighted this because, we talked about on your podcast, Boss Talk, the difference between success and fulfillment. Yep. For all intents and purposes, I had the quote unquote success as a male model, being able to do it full time, travel the world, make a good enough money to afford a great living and lifestyle, providing for family. I was quote unquote successful, but I didn't have the fulfillment. And when I tell you it ate me almost alive, sheesh, that's still an understatement. I had so much void and emptiness and even like loneliness. Yeah. And I'm like, why? I've never had more money than I do right now. I have a beautiful place in Chicago. I drive an amazing car. I was in relationships, even when I was dating my family. I was quote unquote good, but I just felt this like, but I'm not doing what I know I was supposed to do. It's just like this intuition, gut feeling that I had. Because all you were doing was walking through the food court getting samples. You didn't have a full meal. See, Doug. You got to prepare me when you get ready to drop them gems, dog. You know what I'm saying? We done been there plenty of times. You get a couple of samples, you be like, man, that was good. That's it. Man, I'm kind of hungry. I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. These samples ain't it. Listen, it's not enough. We can't treat life like a food court. We got to eat. I got to sit down and take my time. You know what I'm saying? And so when I found the purpose, talk about back to what you said about alignment, everything aligned. People were like, man, Jay, you're moving different in a good way. In a good way, And especially, again, when it comes to, my marriage, it was just here's what happened when I found my purpose. The negative spotlight that I had on my relationships was removed. More so, I used to complain a lot. You're not doing this enough. You're not doing that enough. I need this more. I kept requiring, right, and requesting. And when I found my purpose, I felt, in a sense, complete. Yeah. I said way back, first episode I ever did on Who Can Relate, only you can complete you. And I finally felt complete, and more so, especially for my wife, I finally knew she wasn't the person to ask to complete me. Yeah. All of that was in line with finding my purpose. So for any man out there listening or watching, we can't stress enough how important it is to find your purpose. Otherwise, you'll feel incomplete. And I think I heard something a while ago. Basically, some people choose to look through the window. Because you can see outside.
Yeah.
Other people choose to look in the mirror. Those who choose to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
They find their purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the.
Well, I was staring outside the window.
Oh yeah, I was staring. I've been time. You be like, damn, look at this window. It's, because it's nice. The view is nice.
but more so, we were comfortable here.
Yeah,
I can see. There. Oh, it looks nice. I'm good. I'm safe here. I'm good here.
You look in the mirror. You start looking. You be like, huh?
You get uncomfortable.
I don't like that. What's the stain?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's that smell? I'm gonna clean up a little bit. You know.
One thing I did like about the chapter 2, before we move on.
Yeah.
It says time you spend with your woman should be time you really want to be with her more than anything else.
Right.
If you'd rather be doing something else, she'll feel it, and you both of you will be dissatisfied.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's real, because I've hung out with girls or something, or went on dates, and my mind ain't there. I'm there, but I ain't
present,
I ain't there.
but not checked in.
I'm not there because I'm either thinking about, oh man, I got this bill I got to pay for.
Right.
And they can feel it, but you all right? You good? You know what I'm saying? And that's not fun. It's not even fair.
It's not fair. I was
to
gonna say,
the other person. It's like, so
when
you have your purpose, then you're like, all right, I'm aligned. I can fully give you my attention. So
and it's funny because I actually highlighted the part before that, which is, so if men are out there listening, like, well, damn it, like JD said, he found his purpose and he's trying to, balance that with his relationship. But now marriage, what happens in the book, it says your woman will be more fulfilled with 30 minutes a day of undivided attention and ravishing love than she will a few hours of your divided attention. And when your heart's really not in it. So back to your point.
That's real.
And when I thought about that, I was like, so one of the things that, Shay and I struggled with early in the pandemic during quarantine, which was the difference between quantity time and quality time. Yeah. We were both at home. It's a bunch of quantity time.
Yes, quantity.
But she'd be working in the room. This is before I had the podcast. So I would just be, because I was just modeling full time, I'd be doing nothing. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do nothing. I was catching up on shows, bullshitting with my time. And we would argue all the time because I'm like, come spend time with me, come be here with me. And she understood, but she's like, I got a job. Yeah. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I feel really disconnected from you. And she's like, we're here together all day, every day. How could you feel disconnected? You travel all the time. You're not traveling now. And then it hit me. I was like, but this isn't quality time. And even the time we do spend this quote unquote quality time, we're watching a movie. How much quality time can you get while you're watching something? It's like a first date. The thing you should never do is go to the movies on the first date.
Yo, young men, if you're watching this, all the cameras, look, listen to us. Matter of fact, I'm looking at my camera.
Go ahead, dog. Get it.
If you are just now starting to date, I'm going to give you a bar. I'm going to give you a gym. Do not, and I mean do not, take the woman to the movies. You get nothing done. There's no connection. And I'm going to even go as far, because we're very open. More than likely, I don't even know if that leads to any type of sex. I'm going to be honest with you. Because there's no connect. You're not connecting at all. Go somewhere. I'm about to say okay. I'm going to say something.
Oh, go ahead. You need to sip before you.
I'm going to say something. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a real take.
Okay.
Stop going out with women you're just trying to have sex with. And what I mean is like expensive dates.
Right.
You wasting your time. If that's what you want to do, take her to the park and y'all just chill and see what happens from there. Because what you're doing is just devaluing who you are, your identity, because you're putting a price on this. It's too much. Stop doing that. Yeah. If you want to spend that type of money or time with somebody, let it be a true investment in somebody who you really want to spend time with. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not like the harsh truth, but that's the harsh truth. Yeah. There's some guys out there, they're like, I know I just want to have sex with her, so I'm gonna take her out. And to me, it's a little simpish. And we all been there. We all been there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Takes one to know one. Yeah, takes one to know one.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't go to the movies. That's all I'm saying. Just do something else. Do something where you can talk. Yeah. An activity. Anything.
My first date with Shay was a picnic on the beach. Yeah. I wanted to get to know her. And we had already been talking for 2-3 weeks prior. But I wanted that energy, that connection.
That water connection. I love being by the water.
That water connection is different.
It's different.
So that's an important chapter. But moving on, you say you want to get into chapter, you said 11.
12.
Right? Oh, 12, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is a good one for me. I want to lead this chapter by this quote that I read. Trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. And I was like, ooh, that hit.
That's hard, bro.
Hard.
That's so hard to sit with that uncertainty. I said recently, uncertainty is worse than bad news.
Absolutely.
That's tough.
And it says, embrace the uncertainty. And I was like, it's something about, I was like, ooh, I was like, that's a bar, and it's by Mandy Hale. That's that quote.
Okay.
The reason why I like this chapter is because I had to come to terms with change. And I just looked at my life. So I just started therapy.
Yes, sir.
And my therapist, she specializes in military kids as well who have moved around.
Right.
And I've moved around a lot. And I always wondered, like, why it was so easy for me to adapt to change. And she pointed out that she was like, you've been changing since you were since you were born.
Yeah.
But that also has affected the way you move with relationships. Change is easy for you.
Let's talk about it.
And I was like,
yeah. Same.
Man, we just got here. That's what we talking about already.
I can relate. I can relate.
I said, damn. Yeah. So this chapter, so a quote, one thing that I highlighted in this chapter is this paragraph. It says, it's easy to feel disappointed by life. Success. Wait, did we highlight the?
Bro, once again.
That is wild.
We highlighted the same thing.
Highlighted the
same thing.
I just knew I was going to do the whole thing. I just put it right.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Save the marker.
So it's easy to feel disappointed by life. Success is never as fulfilling as you think it's going to be. But there's a reason for this. Successfully completing a lesser purpose doesn't feel very good for long because it is simply preparation for advancing towards a greater embodiment of your deeper purpose. Each purpose, each mission is meant to be fully lived to the point where it becomes empty, boring, and useless. Then it should be discarded. This is a sign of growth, but you may mistake it for a sign of failure. So think about the people out there who thought they failed.
Right.
But it was time for you to change.
Time to move on.
That passion for it left. I think we've gotten stuck on this idea that you have to have one passion and one passion only. Yeah. Passion and purpose are two different things. Yes. You may have one purpose, which is I want to be the happiest of myself. I want whatever that is. But your passion may be podcasting for 10 years. Yeah. Man, I don't feel it no more. I think I'm done podcasting. Yeah. Passion now is, man, I love plants. Yeah. I'm going to go and study. Right. And that's okay. Yeah. That's literally what this book says because each passion is moving you closest to your purpose. If your purpose is to be happy, you were happy doing podcasts. Well, now you're happy doing plants. Ooh, I'm going to go be a monk. I'm going to go, like, I'm getting, and it's like, oh, try it out. I'm reaching my core. Yeah. Like, look at the earth. It's the water, and then the ground. You get to the core, and it's hot, and that's where that fiery purpose is. And I think that's the same thing about this chapter. Yeah.
The reason why I highlighted this chapter, and I have the key. I had an episode called JD's Book Club, but I have key letters that remind me when I'm flipping through down the road after the book, and I put a T here and an R here with the highlight. The T means think, the R means remember it. Okay. So I put a T and an R for the whole paragraph that you read. Yeah. But I also wrote the quote unquote never satisfied feeling. Because for me, I moved around a lot too. Yeah. And that whole, and I was also an only child. So I bring that up because it all ties into what you mentioned about therapy, about moving around. And it goes like this. There was always something new or better that I would be getting. Yep. From a child, teenager, young adult. So when you think about that, I actually paired that with my relationships subconsciously. It's always something better. The grass is greener. Yeah. I used to always think that. Yeah. So when I would be in situations where I'm advancing towards a greater embodiment of my deeper purpose, each mission is meant to be fully lived to the point where it becomes empty. Well, I would do that, but I would do it within relationships. So I when I read this, I was like, is that why I was never satisfied?
Yep. And for me, I got bored easily.
Me too.
Because the excitement of moving was just so much better.
And I got no patience. So I would suck the life out of a situation. And then when it was done, I was like, I'm good now.
Yeah. I got my.
But this is with relationships. This is with human beings.
Yeah.
With hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Terrible trial and error.
Yeah. It's just definitely trial and error.
But I mean, we all go through it. I just feel like I just had a bar in the lyric. We're all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it as Kanye. But we all go through this. I'm just maybe the first to admit it. But it's the truth. We're the first ones to admit that in relationships sometimes, or even dating, it's when it no longer serves you.
Yep.
You have to let it go.
Yeah.
It's hard to let it go. It's hard for us to have that conversation. But in the end, it's better for us. It's better for that person that we're with, and then for our futures as well. But that whole never satisfied thing, for me, is now an understanding of it was a sign of growth.
Yep.
Not so much the not satisfied.
Yeah. And even at the top of this, it says that man must be prepared to give 100% to his purpose, fulfill his karma, or dissolve it, and let go of that specific form of living. And it's like, that's a tough thing to realize. It's like, because like I said, the hardest thing is letting go sometimes. It's like, but this is my baby. This is my.
Yeah.
But you've dissolved, you literally, it's been dissolved.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to.
Yeah. It's time to move on.
Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of moving on.
Yep.
Let's move on now. This is the last part in A Man's Way, but this is heavily predicated to women. So the title of this chapter is Stop Hoping for Your Woman to Get Easier. I know all these women are clapping right now. I know they stopped their car, they pulled over, they stopped folding laundry, you stopped doing your sit-ups.
Yeah.
So furthermore, a woman often seems to test her man's capacity to remain unperturbed in his truth and purpose.
Yeah.
She tests him to feel his freedom and depth of love, to know that he is trustable.
Yeah.
Her test may come in the form of complaining, challenging him, changing her mind, doubting him, distracting him, or even undermining his purpose in a subtle or not subtle way. A man should never think his woman's testing is going to end and his life will get easier. Rather, he should appreciate that she does these things to feel his strength, integrity, and openness. Her desire is for his deepest truth and love. As he grows, so will her testing. Everyone pay attention to this part right here.
Okay.
A good woman will love the childlike part of you, but she wants your life to be guided by your deepest truths, not your unattended childhood wounds.
Therapy.
I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back, because I already know that. What JD's, you don't have to rewind. Listen to this.
Yeah.
A good woman will love the childlike part of you, but she wants your life to be guided by your deepest truths, not your unattended childhood wounds. Per what you just said, Roman, therapy. There are so many things that I had to unpack in therapy that I was under the impression it's not only my responsibility, it's my girl's responsibility as well to help me through this. And to some degree, sure, right? They can provide a space, they can provide a little soundboard for you. But at the end of the day, to get down to the core of it is either the hard look in the mirror, as you mentioned, or for me, for sure, therapy.
Yep.
To get down to the root of those childhood wounds, understand why I move the way I move, why I'm sensitive about this and why I'm not sensitive about that, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And no woman wants to feel that weight, that burden of, well, I got to do this. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to be, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, our mothers.
No. That's immediate turn on.
I mean, it's our responsibility to take care of that.
I had to learn it the hard way just last week.
Oh, okay. What you got?
It was broken down for me from my therapist. She said, we have these things called inner vows that we make between the ages of 4 and 7.
Okay.
So between 4 and 7, I've seen divorce. Seen a lot of moving around.
Yeah.
I've seen arguing between my parents.
Yeah.
Inner vow says, I'm never doing that. I said, ooh. Inner vow says, relationship, that's turmoil for me. I see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And so I was bringing that into relationships with certain women, and now I'm understanding that, oh, that's my child-like self.
Yeah,
that's little me saying, I got you, bro. I'm gonna protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And she made me talk to my 7-year-old self. And
that's powerful.
It was rough.
That's powerful.
It was rough.
That's powerful.
But the last thing I said is, you can sit down now. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I feel so free to live in exactly how I want to live and not be afraid of that protection mechanism that I've been holding on to so long that I didn't even know I was holding on to.
Yeah. Well,
you know
I appreciate you sharing that story because I can definitely relate to that. I mean, I'm still holding on to that fear of abandonment, the fear of if Shay will just get tired of it and just leave, we'll just be done with it and just leave, or grow apart. Yeah. But I'm gonna take a note from that because I'm gonna do a little letter, little conversation with younger version of myself. She
sent me the recording too, and I was like,
and
I listened to it.
That's powerful.
Oh man,
wow.
this is wild.
Yeah, that's powerful. But that's powerful. So the other part of the chapter too that really resonated with me is, and again, I wrote down, always remember and apply this, and I highlighted it. When it comes to a woman complaining, and this ties back into the first chapter as well, where it says it's not about thinking something will just come to complete end and a complete halt. So it says, complaining never ends. A woman will always test her man for the pleasure of feeling his strength and loving, his capacity to transcend nuisance, and his persistence in his own truth. Mm-hmm. His capacity to share that truth and love with her, even when she is complaining, especially when she is complaining. Her complaint is the beginning of her pleasure. So again, this whole complaining thing, just know it's never going to end. You can't get out of it. Finding a different woman won't get it out of it. Let me just stop there. Because that because that was your boy.
Because we'll run. You were like,
it's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. Yeah, I'm like, you tripping? You know what I'm saying? And then get this, therapy won't even get you out of this. Financial or sexual mastery won't get you out of it. Your woman is testing you because she loves you. Mm-hmm. She wants to feel your truth. Mm-hmm. She wants to feel your love. And when she wants to feel your truth and love, then she can relax and surrender into the polarity of man and women. Then she can trust you. The most loving woman is the woman who will test you the most.
It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's real.
Now, it's 100%, but like when I first read this, I was like, well, hold on a second. Like,
so I got to deal with combativeness.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, where's the fine line? Like, what's the balance?
And I think, of course, in the book you can't really tell, but I don't think he means combative.
Right.
I think he's more so saying like, because we're men and women are different.
Yes.
So we might be like, what's she complaining about? Why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I don't think she's actually out there like, you need to do this. I don't think it's like that.
No.
But it's just like small things that men may find that's nagging to us or stuff like that. But you got to hold true to yourself and be like, listen, give her the love and understand that, listen, everything's okay. Yeah. We good. We got this. Mm-hmm. Understand. Or even I understand you're upset.
We'll get through it.
Of course, it's easier said than done. Yeah. We both know this.
Oh, yeah.
This book is just, this journey is forever. It's
We're
not gonna, I might get mad tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I actually have a section in here we're going to get into right now. Bro, I was listening to the audio on the way here to get my mind right, and I said, damn, just did this last week.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, even when you read the book, you're like, I'm right here doing this. So it's a journey, and but that's what you love about it. It's like, all right, you're finding out different
It's applicable at all times. No matter what.
Yeah. No matter what.
But again, for the ones who are in, let's say, a toxic relationship, or the ones that are in an argumentative relationship, or it's a back and forth, use your discernment.
Yeah, of course.
First and foremost.
Yeah, of course.
Never lose sight of your values and your self-worth. If this is not serving you, like we talked about earlier, let it go. But when it comes to the complaining or what we think is complaining, it's actually a test of love. Just understand the difference. And understand the difference between a healthy challenge and an unhealthy challenge as well. Yeah. Okay, it is that time.
It's that time.
Ladies.
This is what you've been waiting for.
This is for you.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Dealing with women.
Let's go over the content. So let's go over the chapters, dog. Go ahead. What you got?
There's a few chapters in here. I don't know how many we gonna touch on, but we got women are not liars. Praise her. Tolerating her leads to resenting her. Don't analyze your woman. Don't suggest that a woman fix her own emotional problem. Stay with her intensity to a point. Don't force the feminine to make decisions, which that is my favorite chapter out of this whole section. So,
okay,
where we want to begin?
Well, I want to start with what's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
In the praise her. This is chapter 17, praise her.
Yep.
And the reason why I bring this up, again, this is when I was listening to, I was just about to pull up and I was like, damn, I wish I would have remembered this like a couple of days back. Okay. Yeah. So before I get into the book, I'm just gonna give you the real story. So Shay and I, we got into it this past week.
Yeah.
For the ones who maybe think I'm not vulnerable, here you go. The few out there. I asked her to cook more. Okay. Yes. Okay.
You didn't ask her like that. I know you didn't, but it's funny when he said, "Hey, let me ask you something. Cook more." No, I know you didn't say it like that.
I didn't say it like that. So here's what happened. Here's what went down. So we're in my house. I was talking to my mom, and my mom said, "What are you guys doing tonight for dinner?" And I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Babe, what are you doing for dinner?" And she's like, "Oh no." And my mom's like, "You guys never go out to eat. You guys never have your date night." So I was like, first of all, we're still dealing with COVID. I mean, we just had some stuff open up. Like, Ma, give me a break, calm down. And then she's like, "But even still, like, you guys don't really, cook at home." And I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, she's got a point. She's got a point. Yeah. So I hung up, and then Shay, we kind of talked about it. My mom also brought up, well, when you guys have kids, it's got to be different. You have to have home cooked meals and stuff, right?
Okay.
So the next day, we let it marinate. The next day, Shay says, I was thinking about what your mom said, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is not a shot at your mom, but it's the truth. You said your mom didn't really cook for you when you were younger, right? And I'm like, no, I was lucky to get, a home cooked meal maybe once a week. My mom is an amazing cook when she cooks. That's what I've always said. And she's like, well, the irony of her saying, like, when you have kids, you got to start cooking when, you know what I mean? But different times, different circumstances, you know what I mean? Whatever. She was being respectful. But it sparked the conversation. And so Shay says, I just don't know how people do it. I don't know how people have full-time jobs that aren't the 9-to-5 traditional, because Shay's a real estate agent, comes and goes, right? There's no clock out, clock in type of thing. Could be Saturday at 10 p.m., could be whatever. And she's like, I'm just having a hard time balancing it. And I was like, well, people do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, where there's a will, there's a way. You find a way. Well, that must have struck a chord, because it was like World War III thereafter.
After you said that statement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And, all right. That's what I like. Getting to the nitty gritty.
So, I said, what you mean? What you mean? I was like, what's the problem? Am I missing something? Because she was hot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to be vulnerable with you, Shay. And you're like stabbing me. You're like kicking a horse while I said, well, I'm not kicking a horse while it's down. I'm just saying, like, I would love for you to cook more. And when we do have kids, I would love for there to be home cooked meals. I'm not saying I can't cook, but well, that's what you sound. You sound like it's my responsibility. Like I'm just supposed to cook. No, well, you act like I don't cook. I said, no, I'm not saying you don't cook. I'm saying you do cook. It's just not that often. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, love, what's for dinner? I'm always the one that kind of cliches, heavy in her work and is busy right now. And so we got into this argument, this total disagreement. But the reason why I bring all this up is because this chapter says praise her. And in the chapter, it says, more or less, I'll paraphrase. Instead of saying, I would like you to cook more, say, babe, I love when you cook. I love when you cook. Remember those enchiladas you made the other day? I still remember how they taste. I would love if you can cook a little bit more. I love the way you cook. I would love it more often, right? Praise her instead of demanding or requesting. Now, I could have used this chapter specifically last Sunday at 8 p.m.
And where you also messed up at is we didn't get to it yet, but you did exactly what chapter 22 said don't do. Chapter 22 said don't force the feminine to make decisions. So as soon as your mom said, what are we having for dinner? You looked at her and said, babe, what we having for dinner?
Yeah. Oh,
and that's so if you had already had dinner in your mind,
it's a little hot.
Y'all might not have even got to that. But
like, hey, Jared, put on the AC, dog. Put on the AC, dog.
But it's like, damn, I didn't even think about it. This book make you think about stuff like that. You be like, oh man, I should have just. But to praise her is. Yeah, it's the way to go. It's a tonality thing. Yeah. It's just how you saying things like because even in the bedroom, I'm sure Shan knows, and you know when you're doing certain things, you're not gonna say, well, I don't like when you do that, but you're gonna probably say, oh, I like when you do this,
right?
And that's going. And he's like, oh, that makes life so much easier. Yeah. Why not? I should have did.
Well, it says right here to open the chapter: the masculine grows by challenge.
Yeah.
But the feminine grows by praise.
Yeah.
So only the masculine side of your woman will grow through challenge. The feminine side thrives on support and praise.
Yeah.
Telling her, I love the shape of your body will be a much greater incentive for her to exercise than telling her, I hope you don't gain any more weight.
That's real though.
Praise always magnifies the quality of your woman that you're praising.
Yep.
You're so beautiful when you smile is much more effective than you're so ugly when you frown. Although they both indicate your desire for her to smile, when speaking to your woman, it is always better to call it the glass half full, the glass half empty. If you want your woman to grow in her radiance, health, happiness, love, beauty, power, and depth, praise these qualities. Praise them daily a number of times. Again, this is all hindsight, but these are very important tools.
They're very important
for everyone. But here's the thing. It is difficult for a man to practice this and for most men to learn.
Yeah.
But you must learn to praise the very qualities you feel are not yet praiseworthy in order for them to become so. In other words, praise the tiny quality that you want to grow. Again, I should have approached it now in hindsight, and the next time, if and when, it's, honey, I love when you cook. You're one of the best cooks I know. Restaurant, home, doesn't matter. You're one of the best cooks I know. And the other thing is, and I said this afterwards, but not at the moment. It took me a day. But I said, how can I help? You need me to go grocery shopping? I'll take a list. I'll get the stuff. I'll do the dishes as I always do whenever you cook. No problem. So, lesson learned.
And it's I think one thing we have to realize is men and women just communicate different.
Yeah.
You come downstairs with something bad on. I heard this on the podcast too. You come downstairs with something bad on. I'm like, yo, JD, that shirt ain't it, bro.
This ain't it, bro.
Yeah, you gotta
switch that up.
As the homie, you like, man, come on, man, this shirt. No, I don't. That ain't the one. That ain't the one.
Right.
I can't tell my woman that.
Right.
Not in that way.
Right. Yeah.
Baby, I love. Where's that one dress?
Yeah, you had that yellow one,
that
right?
Yellow one.
Yeah.
That yellow one, dope.
Yeah.
She like, you like the yellow?
Yeah, I can steam it for you if you need me. So go ahead.
It's just a different. Yeah. It's a different tonality that men and women use. You know what I'm saying? So you had the right idea of what you wanted to say. Yeah. It probably just didn't. To you, you're like, why you tripping? Like,
and the irony is, one thing that I preach all the time is, you can have the greatest message to give to someone, but if the delivery is off, the message will never get across. So deep down, I'm like, I love when you cook.
Yeah.
I know we both want to eat at home more instead of doing the takeout game.
Yeah.
I So furthermore into, again, part 2, dealing with women, where you want to go next? Don't analyze your woman.
I'm going to actually go, don't suggest that a woman fix her own emotional problem.
Let's get it.
Which is an interesting chapter. And so one of the things I highlighted is, I think I also said this on Enjoy the Podcast.
Okay.
Like the ocean, the native state of the feminine is to flow with great power and no single direction. The masculine builds canals, dams, and boats to unite with the power of the feminine ocean and go from point A to point B. But the feminine moves in many directions at once. The masculine chooses a single goal and moves in that direction, like a ship cutting through the vast ocean. The masculine decides on a course and navigates the direction. The feminine energy itself is undirected but immense, like the wind and deep currents of the ocean, ever-changing, beautiful, destructive, and the source of life. And when you ask her to analyze her heart's emotions, it's like building walls around a part of an ocean and turning it into a swimming pool. And I was like, ooh,
that hit different too.
I was like, so when we tell you, hey man, think about what you're doing. Like they're like, well, that's not my feminine energy. I'm free in love. Yeah. So as soon as you tell me to think about what and close off that, it's like, all right, now I'm just trapped in this. And that's when thoughts of the other guy that lets her be free start coming into mind, or how, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have allowed her to feel that way. That love is closed off.
Yeah, no.
And I think
which is probably one of the worst things you can do.
I think it goes back to what I said on Dating with Intention. I was like, it's going with the flow, but just having a meeting at the same body of water. Like, that's it. You still got direction, but hey, let's both be going towards the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so and it's one of those things that it's going to be tough. Of course, in anything you do, it's going to be tough. Sure. We don't have the answers.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to be tough.
And there's no one size fits all.
Yeah, there's no one size fits. But you can try your best to lead, but still allow her to have a voice. Yeah. Allow her to speak up. But when she does speak up, just let her know, hey, these are the plans that I have, but I want to include you in them. Yeah. I think when you don't feel included, that's when it's like, all right, you're not listening to nothing.
That's interesting you said, because that's actually, I think, a strength of mine that I'm always including Shay. Yeah. And in fact, there's times she's like, babe, I don't need to go to this with you. You know what I mean? But it's great because it allows her a choice, obviously, to say yes or no, right? But she will say that I know I can speak on her behalf. She's always like, you're constantly including. Yeah. Even when we were long distance, which was a huge thing. Yep. But you mentioned the Target analogy, and there's actually another analogy in the book, which is, suppose it's your woman's birthday. Yep.
This was a good one. Yeah.
If it were your birthday, you'd love it if your woman would do anything you wanted. Yep. So you think she'd ask something like that. So you say to her, happy birthday. For your birthday, we can do anything you want. We can go anywhere and do anything. And I'll do anything for you.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? This is exactly the opposite of most women's idea of an ideal birthday present. Yep. I know, listen, bro, I've been here before.
Oh, yeah, we've all
like,
been.
What's the problem? It's your birthday. What you want to do?
Figure out what you want.
Come on. It's like, oh, my God. Okay.
That's why I said it couples perfectly with making the decision. Yeah.
So furthermore, most women would get far more excited if you were to say, you've got 30 minutes to pack your bags. Don't ask me where we're going, but we'll be gone for the weekend. Everything's taken care of. Just pack your bags and leave the rest to me. I'm going to give you the best birthday you've ever had. Yep. Because one of the deepest feminine desires is intimacy. Though not in business or simple friendship, but intimacy in the sense of it's able to relax and surrender her. Knowing her man is taking care of everything. Then she can simply enjoy without having to plan it all herself and tell her man what to do. Yep. She can be pure in energy, pure emotion, pure love, without having to analyze all the options and decide which ones are the best.
It's pretty simple.
Well, common sense is not so common.
Not at all.
But hopefully this in hindsight will allow a lot of men to just think differently. And that birthday per your target, it's all great analogies because again, a lot of times but let's be honest, right? Because if I were to say to Shay, it's your birthday, we can do whatever you want. That's a cop out for me. The pressure's not on me now.
Oh yeah.
I'm putting it all on you.
Oh yeah.
I can pay for this. I can drive here. I can fly here, but now it's up to you. Yeah. Right. So let's put in more effort. Yeah. Understand that this is when you pull the tools out of, but I know my woman would love, I know my wife would love this if I just do this, right? And you get more into detail of it.
And I will just tie it right into don't force the feminine to make decisions. This is the reason why this is one of my favorite chapters out of the book. Yeah. Because I'm talking about it is real to a T. I've talked to multiple women about this chapter and they say, absolutely, like I don't want to make this shit, like lead. Or if you're masculine, or if you're a masculine woman, lead, like do what you need. Yeah. Like for a man, for me specifically, I've learned that, hey, man, I want to go out with this girl. All right, cool. Call the restaurant. Yeah. Y'all got reservations? Cool. Yeah. I don't need a back and forth in the text. Here, we meet here at 7. Cool. I told you about an example. Went to the place, met at 7. Oh, the line was too long. Cool. Called another place. Yeah. Y'all guys do reservations? Nobody got walk-ins. Cool. I'm on the way. Pull up. Boom. sit down. The girl's like, I didn't have to think about nothing. And she said, that eased me.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it can be.
It can be.
It can be.
But of course, it feels like pressure on men.
Yeah.
Hey, but
we can handle it.
But we like challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like,
fits
all right,
right into the masculine.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it makes it so much easier because it's like she ain't got to think about nothing. She ain't got to wonder like, oh God, because if you send her to a restaurant, send her a reservation, she can look at it, be like, okay, this is this type of restaurant. I know what to wear. I know, you know, this and that. And
exactly.
Third. Just make the decision, bro.
Exactly.
Make the decision.
So the other part of, again, part 2, which is dealing with women. Chapter 19. Don't analyze your woman.
Yep.
The little brief into the chapter is something I highlighted, which says, when a woman feels love flowing deeply, her mood can instantly evaporate into joy, regardless of the supposed reason for the mood. Yep. So as a man, you probably want to find the cause for the problems in your life. That way you can eliminate the source of the problem, right? Again, the black and white analogy is very simple. We deal with, there's an issue. Where's the solution? Oh, I can provide the solution. I got the tools for it. Boom. That done. What's next?
Cool.
We love the challenge. We love the satisfaction of completion. But because you love her, you begin to ask her questions to get to the root of the problem, right? So what's wrong? Did I do something to upset you? What are you crying about? Are you about to start your period?
That's the one thing we go to. You all right?
Yeah. See, you know what?
I knew it.
I got it now. You know, it's not even you. It's
cool.
the period talk, right? Okay. Did somebody say something horrible to you? So I'm gonna. That was actually an insert. If you guys are listening, that was an insert into the book. But I'm gonna give another personal story. This particular situation that happened to me was a crossroad in my marriage with Shay. So Shay's actually on her period. Okay.
I think you told this.
Did I talk about this before?
I enjoyed the podcast.
Oh, I'm sure I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. So for the who can relate community, Shay was on her period and her cramps were bad. And in my mind, I'm like, but there's nothing I can do to take away the cramps, right? Yeah. Like I got no tools to fix this problem. What solution can I provide? Okay. And so we get into this little argument, nothing relevant for the context, but we get into this argument and I'm like, you're on your period. This is probably what it is. You know what? I'm just going to go for a run. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. Right. So I go for my run, you know, I'm texting my boy on the way, like, man, and he's like, oh, she's tripping. Yeah, she is tripping, bro. We going back and forth. I'm on my run. Right. And I was looking for podcasts. Like, is there any period talk in here? Like, what the hell is going on in Apple? Come on, Apple. I got nothing. I'm like, whatever, man. So I get home and Shay had a beautiful delivery system for her message. Yep. And she said, you know, I don't really need you to solve this problem. I don't need you to fix it. I kind of just need you to lay here with me. If you want to grab the heating pad or the dark chocolate, that'd be great. You know, the Advil, that'd be great. But I just need you to lay here with me. And I remember thinking in my head, that's it? Yeah. What you mean? Like, but that's not solving the problem. Nope. But I don't need you to solve the problem. I just need you to lay here with me.
And in a masculine mind, we're like,
I'm like, wait, that don't 1 + 1 does not equal 2. What the hell is she talking about? You know what I mean? I'm like, huh? Yeah. And I remember so when I read this chapter, that's the first example that came to my mind. And that actually led me to, not to get too off tangent, but Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection. Mm-hmm. And it talks heavily about compassion and empathy and being sensitive to someone else's sensitivities, which I, as a heavy masculine energy, really lacked when it came to the feminine energy. So again, you know, fellas, I understand it is very black and white the way we think in the moment. You know, our first knee jerk is to, what's the problem? Here's a solution. But as I've learned from Shay and through therapy, sometimes the solution is all in the understanding. Yeah.
Gotta implement that.
Yeah, it's a necessity.
So we're gonna leave y'all with a little spicy, a little spice. Let's go. And it's not even that spicy. It's probably common sense for women. But for us, I was like, ooh, I got the answers to the test. And there's 7 chapters about it. Oh man. So I just want to say first off, man, I'm I'm so excited we got to do this, man, because we've
been talking about it for a while.
We've been talking about it for a minute,
like over a month. You don't even know.
Yeah, we've been talking about like how we want to deliver
back
this.
And forth.
And then he called me one day. He was like, "There's no way we can do this in one episode."
Oh, no.
It's too much. But we want to dip into a little bit of part 3 and leave y'all with a teaser for some of it. So, part 3, chapter 23. And part 3 is working with polarity and energy. Chapter 23 is your attraction to the feminine is inevitable. And for those of you who don't know what inevitable means it's going to happen no matter what you can do.
That's that look, but I can't touch.
That's that look, but I can't touch. But the way it's painted in this book is so beautiful that I was like, oh yeah, no, this.
Yeah.
It goes back to when I was in a relationship, and I'm like, society teach you it's shameful to be attracted to anybody else or look at anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're with somebody. Why are you looking over there? Don't look over there. You're like, I mean, I'm not. They're attractive people.
It's just a natural feeling. What you want me to do?
Like, what you want me to do? So this says, masculine men are attracted to forms of feminine energy. Radiant women, beer, music, nature. So we're not just talking about women.
No,
it's the energy of it. If a man tries to hide his attraction, it reveals some degree of shame with respect to his own sexual core. And I think that's very powerful. So, for example, it says, if you feel like most men, you probably tried to hide the amount of sexual attraction you feel towards women every day. All right. So at work, on the street, grocery store, you see a woman, it turns you on. We've all been there.
Oh yeah.
Being Trader Joe's, like, woo.
Yeah.
Hey man, these women Trader Joe's.
Hey, come on now.
looking,
I thought it was Whole Foods. Trader Joe's where it's at.
You know what I'm saying? So, but many times the feeling is more of a wave of refreshment washing through you. So it's not even always sex. It's just like, man, women are beautiful. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I love women.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Thoughts, right.
And so seeing an especially radiant woman can fill your whole day with delight.
Yeah.
And this is very true. I've came home to my homies like, dog.
You should have seen this woman at TJ's, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then you be feeling good. You be, boy, I'm feeling so good. You know, and so it says it could be a woman's exquisite scent that can transport you to an enchanted paradise. A woman's smile can melt the moment into sheer beauty. But here's where it gets real. It says there are 2 ways to deal with your daily of attraction to the feminine. Wisely and foolishly. And that's all it boils down to.
It.
That's literally all it boils down to.
That's it.
To respond wisely, you must understand why you are attracted to whom. Your sexual essence is always attracted to its energetic reciprocal. Masculine men are attracted to feminine women. Feminine men are attracted to masculine women. Balanced men are attracted to balanced women. So it's just basically telling you got 2 ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
Wisely is just take that energy.
Yeah.
Hold on to
Appreciate it.
Melt into it.
Yeah.
Give that back to your partner.
Right.
That's the wise way of dealing with it.
Right.
The foolish way of dealing with it is acting out of character. You know what I'm saying? It's to go and, hey, ma, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a relationship, but hey, you.
Well, I mean, there's actually a person who embodies the foolish side. Derek Jackson.
There you go.
Derek Jackson
there you
handled it all foolishly.
Because
it also says sexual attraction, however, is very different from having sex.
For sure.
And that's the foolishness.
That's the foolishness.
That's the confusion of it, right?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between choosing to be intimate with a woman and simply being attracted to her energy and radiance. Intimacy is a choice between people who want to commit to loving and serving one another, whereas the zing of attraction is a choiceless, natural flow of energy between your masculine core and feminine energy, wherever it is found. You don't need to have sex with her to savor inexpressibly joy. So like you said, you go home, you appreciate it. You're like, that was beautiful. She smelled good. She looked good. I liked your dress, whatever it is. That doesn't mean you need to further engage. That's the look, but I can't touch.
It's like, I've been to the strip club Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Man.
That you found love with a stripper?
Let me tell you something.
Some T-Pain?
Let me tell you something.
You're like, hey baby, what's your real name?
And I had a girl at the time. Had fun in there. But man, I took all that energy back to the house.
Oh yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. But that's real.
Babe, you up, babe?
You up? I'm on the way home. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the way.
It's a self-control aspect, and I guess I could say, I just got off like a 50-day fast.
Oh yeah.
And in
Thank
that,
you for reminding me.
Yeah, in that was a lot of self-control.
Yeah.
It was no porn, no sex, no masturbation, no alcohol for like 50 days. Tough.
You're supposed to do it for 40 too, so you went another 10.
Went another 10
Good
because I'm an overachiever.
Good for you, yeah.
Because the challenge.
The
challenge.
Good for you.
Was it tough? What?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
But man, you get to a point of self-control that you like, can't nobody shake me. I'm out here.
Right.
And it's going to sound funny, but there's nothing like turning down somebody very attractive and knowing you're okay with it. Hey, not right now.
Discipline for the win, brother.
Not right now.
Discipline for the win.
Is it always like that? Hell no.
No.
It's not at all.
No.
You have seasons where you're good, seasons where it's like, you know what I'm saying? But it just goes back to this. You take that attraction.
Yeah.
You know how many women I found attractive in those 50 days? Women I thought I'd never find attractive. I'm like, wow, you look good right now.
well, everything becomes more clear.
Yeah.
Way more clear. It's you get out of the fog, 100%.
Get out of the fog. And so, and that's why I really love this chapter. And it says if you feel uncomfortable with your attraction to women, you're probably uncomfortable with your own masculine energy. Yeah. And that's, you shouldn't. It's a part of your essence, part of your core.
Embrace it.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and this has been a struggle since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Wars have been fought over the attraction of women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Usually the case.
Yeah. So it's like when you own it and embody it, you feel good. And like Deion Sanders said,
you play good. You look good.
You look good.
You play
feel
good. Oh yeah, my bad. You
look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good. You play good. You get paid good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it boils down to.
So when we have our part 2, we're gonna dig deeper into part 3.
Yeah, we're gonna dig deeper in those. Those are good.
And then part 4 is what women really want. So stay tuned for that. Part 5 is your dark side. Part 6, feminine attractiveness. Part 7, body practices. That's the ejaculation chapters.
Yeah.
And then the last part is part 8, men's and women's yoga of intimacy. But if you guys are new to Rome, we did an episode called Dating with Intentions. It will be on the time card here when we get done. But again, if you are new, Rome, where can people find you?
Man, all right. So my Instagram is at iRomealot, IROMEALOT. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram for sure. Snapchat is just Rome Green Jr. Follow my group page at Dormtainment, DORMTAINMENT. Follow one of my podcasts, Comedy Trap House, on YouTube. Follow Boss Talk on Instagram. Justin has an episode on there. Yeah. But to get Boss Talk, you have to you can follow the clips on Instagram. Yeah. But to see the full episodes, you have to become a patron. And that's patreon.com/Comedy Trap House. And you become a patron right there. Boss Talk is basically an inspirational podcast each and every week, similar to Who Can Relate. We're just trying to pour back into the people. And you can follow on Instagram at Real Boss Talk, REAL Boss Talk. And follow my Shades line at the Shady Side Up on Instagram. And get you a nice pair of shades for the summer. And so that's all my plugs. I feel like I could plug for days.
No, it's all good. Do it. I mean, it's the embodiment of an entrepreneur.
And I like I said, I'm always a flower giver. Once again, I want to give you your flowers, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Love what you're doing. I've seen the podcast grow. Our episode is like 17,
it's crazy.
which is great. I don't take any of that for granted, and most importantly, you're a man of, and you're you're impeccable with your word, which is in 4 agreements.
Yes,
you're definitely impeccable with your word. You say we're going to do something.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
You're always checking in on me, and we literally just met in January, I believe.
Yeah. Wow.
But I feel like we
built
months. You know what I'm saying? Built such
it's a strong bond.
When you lock in with people, man, it's great. So we're gonna have you guys are gonna see me plenty more. So don't even.
No, for sure. And if it's not, just even more so than the way of the Spirit, man. I got a lot of ideas to have you on the show,
and I'm sure as life happens, I'll be like, hey, yo, bro,
I got this, 100%. So. I'll make sure all the links are below in the description for where people can find.
What's going to be the great episode when I come on here in a relationship. That's going to be that's going to be a great episode.
I'll bring Shay on for that.
Yeah,
we'll do a little four.
Since you guys are new, let's talk. Let's talk about some things.
100%.
So I truly think that's why I think I'm in therapy right now. It's going great, and I think I'm building that energy for that right woman to step in. Like on Nice and Neat podcast, shout out Omar and Jelon and Duke. There's the good woman, then there's the right woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's coming for me very soon. So
and you're working through those childhood wounds. Per chapter 15, you know what I mean? So all right, bro. I appreciate you for coming on.
Come on, man.
It's a pleasure.
Always.
It's an honor.
Always.
And the goal is always to help people, and I know this definitely will. And again, everyone stay tuned for a part 2, probably a part 3.
Oh yeah, probably.
Again, this book is not just for men. It is maybe even more so for women.
For sure.
And it obviously had a huge impact on our lives, and we just wanted to to let everyone know. Yeah. So until next time, see y'all then.